What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified as soon as we drop new content. Let's get to this one. So, we're talking now about the main event of Sunday's card, which was televised on Sky Sports over here in the UK, and I believe was Peacock in the US of A. So, this fight ended up in a draw, which is not what I predicted. I thought that Fabio Wardley would be able to get through this fight, maybe get Frazer Clarke out of there later on in the fight. And, I just didn't think Frazer would have enough to sort of stay with Fabio. I thought Fabio would take this fight just based on the fact that I've not really seen anything spectacular in Frazer Clarke's career. I mean, he's had 8 fights. But he did nothing he's done really stood out to me really since he turned pro. So that was me going in, but I was completely wrong because he done very well for himself. As far as this fight goes, I would say that this is definitely a fight of the year contender because it's a brilliant fight. Bit of a modern classic, a modern sort of British classic. Both guys went for it. It was a fight of both guys going back and forth. There was blood and guts. Clarke was knocked down quite early in the fight, and he to his credit, Clarke, he really started the fight well. He made Wardley miss, made him pay early in the fight. So he started the fight boxing very well, used the uppercut very well at various times in this fight, did Frazer Clarke. But overall, Fabio Wardley was able to sort of come back and score a knockdown on Frazer Clarke. But unlike his other opponents, due to the fact that, of course, that when he did get the knockdown on Frazer Clarke, it happened right towards the end of the round. Um, you know, but both guys, by the sort of midpoint of this fight, they looked very tired and sort of exhausted. So, yeah, this was a fight that it was very hard to judge, but I think it was very much a back and forth battle with both guys. They looked tired. Even at the halfway stage, they looked quite tired, and it was a very taxing fight on both guys. Fabio Wardley was having his moments where he'd hurt Frazer Clarke, but then Frazer Clarke would always come back and have his moments, and it was such a hard one to score. But it was a real pleasure to watch as both guys they really had their moments. Fabio Wardley from early in the fight, he always has that cut on the top of his nose, kind of the bridge of his nose, and that opened up. Frazer Clarke was able to open that up, and he was able to land frequently with his uppercut. But it was like every time one of these guys does something, every time Frazer Clarke has success, then Fabio Wardley has success. And it was like a kind of seesaw battle with, both guys back and forth throughout the fight. Fabio Wardley was the one that was kind of showing more tiredness, breathing with his mouth open and stuff like that. And, it was very tough to that. I don't envy the judges. In the end, I suppose Frazer Clarke, for me, through a lot of the fight, done a lot of the cleaner work. But Fabio Wardley did have him rocked and have him hurt. He scored a knockdown, Frazer Clarke got a points deduction. So towards the end of the fight, going into sort of the last round, and I kind of thought that this is maybe gonna go to Fabio Wardley because of that point deficit. Although I thought, at the same time, Frazer Clarke has done very well. So yeah, going into the last round, I really wasn't sure. I thought this could go either way, but I was thinking if it's going to anyone, probably to Fabio Wardley. But to my surprise, I was like, okay, it ends up in a draw, which is, I think the draw was really a fair result. I don't think you could argue with it. Both guys, they just fought to exhaustion. They gave their absolute all. There was nothing more that either guy could have done. I think for both guys, I think Fabio Wardley will regret thinking, "Oh, I could have got this guy out of there." And I think Frazer Clarke might have the same regret too, because Frazer Clarke did land some very good shots, but Frazer he just didn't seem to have that extra gear to sort of mount more of an attack. It seemed like he would land his hard counter shots, two punches, three punches, and then that was it. That was his load blown, and he just couldn't do any more. But yeah, very, very good fight. As I said, it was a back and forth 50-50 fight. And the way it went, one judge went for Wardley, the other for Clarke, and then the third judge, 113-113, a draw. Very good fight. And because of it being inconclusive, I would like to see a rematch. That's what I would like to see next. I think Wardley could go and fight someone else. But I think Frazer Clarke, he proved himself in there, and I think he deserves a rematch. But again, it all depends what the champion, what Fabio Wardley wants to do. So let me know your thoughts on this fight. I think it was a bit of a classic fight of the year contender. Let me know what you think, and until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.